Hey, Latinos in Clinical Research. Happy New Year. We're very happy to have everybody here today, so thank you so much. It is the first month of the year, a week away from February, which is insane. So yeah, like I said, Happy New Year. For Latinos in Clinical Research, we have so much that we want to share with you guys today. A lot of things in the works. While everybody was on vacation, we were still very crazy, but we still were getting together almost every week for multiple times to plan for what this year is going to be, and we're really excited to share that with you guys. So today's going to be a Q&A with all of us, kind of just getting on some topics like interesting things that are happening this year, what's new and big for in research for 2023, and just kind of shooting it out from there. But I don't know if Monica, Judy, Dan, you wanted to add anything before we kind of kick it off?
No, welcome to the new year and welcome to Latinos in Clinical Research first webinar.
Definitely.
Yeah, just I hope you're all having a great start to your 2023, and hopefully I wish all of you a lot of success and a busy year, because I know it's busy for us.
Definitely. So I think one of the things that just to bring it up onto research, like what is new and big in 2023, I think a lot of people saw, I think in December, and Dan like kind of chime in, because I'm pretty sure we texted about this, but there was a lot of AI stuff coming out in December. It's kind of like it was all pushing out all at the same time to kind of bring in this new era of like focusing on AI, where it came into, you know, doing the whole thing of face recognition and changing. And later it came out that that information now is data complicated, right? Because of the fact that you can actually save somebody's face or whatever and into the data, and you no longer have
yeah,
hold
that
of that.
won't last. That won't last in research. But what I'm excited about is at the drug discovery level, where there's like something like 10 to the power of 80, which is like a huge number. We can't even comprehend this number. Small molecules that they know exist, but they don't know what they are. And this is one of the things you're starting to see all these AI companies. There's probably 20 or so that are partnered, or like the one biotech, the one that partnered with Pfizer. They purchased one of these AI companies. So what they're using it for, they're using it to scan like their existing small molecules that they already have in their own database, so their own IP, and they're using it to compare like other small molecules that are out there, that they can see, okay, this one matches with this receptor. Because at the end of the day, it's just proteins and receptors, and whether it's an enzyme or a signaling molecule or actual receptor, like at the end of the day, this is what drugs are. This is what medicine is. I mean, you can talk about monoclonal antibodies, I guess, but just the fact that they can discover using AI things that might work and really quickly, and then they can fail a whole bunch of stuff before they even get to animal studies. So they may not need to do as many animal studies
anymore.
well, they still will, but they won't waste their time on drugs that are not going to bind, for example, like to receptors, because the computer models, they're already using the computer models, but the AI is going to show them, okay, this is based on all the repository of like known science. This compound is most likely to connect and bind with this receptor, so you should look into it more. Right now they don't have that, so a lot of these biotech companies are acquiring or working with and that's actually another topic of like how these companies work together. Is it a royalty model? There's a company called Royalty Pharma. I don't know if you guys heard of them, but they're actually CEO is a Latino dude from Mexico City.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, they're publicly traded.
You get in contact with them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're publicly traded, and what they do, it's not AI, but they develop tools for pharma to use, and their whole model is based on sharing royalties. So rather than charging them for a seat like most vendors do, like metadata, they'll charge for a seat. They say, hey, you can use whatever, however many seats you want. Here's the tools for free, but we want a contract where if your drug is commercially viable, we get a percentage, whether it's 2%, 3%, 7%. And he's built a really big business, like Royalty Pharma. Anybody wants to look at it, check it out. Huge market cap based on this royalty system.
That's
So
pretty
I think
amazing.
with this
That's
AI,
a very smart business.
Mhm.
it's risky too, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because as technology gets better, the cost of technology is supposed to get cheaper. So rather than racing to the bottom, I think some of these companies are going to start doing royalty, rev sharing or royalties. So that's something I'm paying attention to. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting decade.
Yeah, I seeing all of that and hearing about these news, I'm just like, okay, great. I think there's going to be a lot of revealing this year, I think, especially with on other ends of the economy and where those sectors are growing as well. I feel like, pharma and research, right, is kind of going right along with it. So I'm really excited to see what new
And
things will be
data
coming
too.
out.
Big
Yeah.
data. Judy and I, we can't talk about it too much, if at all, but there's a there's a study we have that they're using brainwaves to screen fail patients before they even take the drug. So
Wow.
like we do our own inclusion exclusion criteria just like any other study. Then we give them this assessment. This is where I can't say too much about it, but they look at some of the biometric data from the patients, and they say, okay, based on our AI algorithm, this patient will screen fail. He's unlikely to be a responder to the drug, so please screen fail him. So this is the first time we're doing something like that.
That's
Yeah, I have
amazing.
that study too.
Oh,
It's
there
Yeah,
you
Monica
go. Yeah.
has it.
exciting.
But it's actually my second study. I have another study for another condition similar that where there's some kind of AI involved and they'll screen fail the patient, but then we don't know why and they don't know why. And then the other thing I'm seeing a lot of is like biomarkers in clinical research and psych CNS studies, which I didn't used to see. We actually have some studies, so that's pretty cool.
Which I
That's going
something
to open up like new conversations with your patients. Like, my patients, some of them ask me a lot of questions, like when they screen fail, like, well, what's wrong with my ECG? And we tell them that, well, it's nothing clinically wrong, but they don't like the QR-QT interval. So I can't imagine the kind of questions this is going to raise, and we don't know the answers. I mean, what are we supposed to tell them? The
Yeah,
AI
and
said you're a non-responder, maybe.
and I think right now you, Monica, and Judy are perfect examples as to also I mean, I don't know if this is the most that you guys gotten in 1 month as far as like studies, but you all are in rural areas, heavily Latino based. And so the fact that you guys got so many studies makes me really happy because it showcases that there's a lot more push now, right? Y'all are getting attention. I would obviously love to know, especially I don't know how many other site owners are here, but site owners that are
Chris.
members, yeah, later that if they come on, let us know if you guys actually got a bigger amount this year, because that's really really great to
Let
hear.
us know if you actually randomize someone. That's something
Yeah.
to write home about.
Yeah, I think because of the AI, there are gonna be a lot more studies too, because it's gonna
Mhm.
make the processes easier. They are going to discover more molecules or more things out there that
And research is
and
going to
it's
keep
gonna be more
growing.
efficient.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I think. And also, uh, besides besides the medication or the treatments or the molecules and all of that, also the testings are gonna be improved because of this, and it's gonna show even results more accurate without having the fact to do a lot of different tests, but just one test that is extremely accurate. So I think I mean, I'm very excited, just like Christine. Christine, come out from wherever you are.
Yeah. That's right.
I know she's excited about this too. And,
Yeah.
what the AE is bringing to the table to the industry. And I mean, this is only going to make things more exciting.
100%. And for me, definitely, it's very heavily on. I mean, because for the past 3 years, I've been wanting to kind of go more the biotech AI region. I've been growing on my career path, but I really want to kind of move that way. And so definitely something I need to research in so we can bring to our Latinos in clinical research members, for those of you guys that are interested in that. Naturally, data and anything data related is is I think you'd be solid on, right? Naturally.
Anyone played with Chat GPT?
No,
I started
I
after.
I watched a few videos.
I'm obsessed. I'm actually obsessed with that platform. I mean, it's just like using it just even for the regular things that you do on daily basis. It saves so much time. Like for example, you can actually add it to your Gmail or your email and
Really?
ask it to write the email for you, giving them the prompts. Like for example, I would like this email to be write saying yes, rewrite it or write it or answer it, and it does it like in 1 minute, and then you're ready to send. So I'm being
Oh,
more productive,
that's
and
amazing.
and also
Is that the
and
free version
also
or are you paying for it?
not the free version.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
It's free.
I asked the I
AI.
ate everything. Like I mean, Google for me now is second option. Now it's
Wow.
so just that, and it's so nice because if you ask for steps, like for example, I want to do, I mean, whatever thing that you want to do, give me the step by step instructions, and it will give you step-by-step instructions. So
Wow.
I actually even hear that the AI was they put the test for doctors for the board, and it actually passed.
Wow. That's
So
insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, for you guys that don't know what we're talking about, it's Chat GPT, right,
Chat
Dan?
GPT,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys need to see it. It's pretty big. It's a kind of like an AI Google, way better,
Mhm.
obviously, but it's pretty amazing. Definitely something that is helpful if you're wanting to learn more, do more.
I've
Again, like
been
Monica
playing
was
with
saying,
it too.
be
Yeah.
more productive. Definitely interesting. So clearly there's a good theme to this, and hopefully, it continues to grow like in the best way, obviously. Don't want AI to be used in the wrong ways.
Raul,
Um,
how's it going? Beard game strong.
You're on mute.
But yeah, I didn't know you can connect it to your email and all that. That's great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was listening to a podcast and it's like a new position is being created right before our eyes. Like people who know, it's kind of like being a chef, information now is like the ingredients. So like I don't know how to cook. I can go to a grocery store and buy the same ingredients as a good chef and we'll make two totally different dishes because I don't know what I'm doing. But the people who know how to ask the right questions
Prompts.
and then
Yeah.
orchestrate it into something productive, like a positive output, are going to be the ones that win. And I didn't realize you can integrate it into email and all that
Which
stuff. So
Yeah.
that's
I
pretty cool.
mean, thanks for saying that, Monica, because that's going to
I
take me to the next level.
I send you guys the video. I send you guys the video about it.
So no
Yes.
more
I
out of
mean,
office emails
Yeah,
then.
but I
Your
actually
chat
haven't tried
GPT
it.
can so your chat
Definitely.
GPT can
Yeah.
reply for you. You don't need those automated out of office. I'm out of office. Don't email me till next month.
So I think this would be actually very great, useful in some way to, creating resources, right? Learning more
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
research. Also doing something in where, if say your uncle, your tia, your grandma, whoever has questions and you're not there. I don't even know how technical it is. I haven't fully used it yet, but I mean, for them to ask questions and stuff, I just think there's so many
Yeah.
ways around it, especially for the Latino community where the resources are very few.
Chris and
Right?
I
Okay.
played with
Yeah.
it.
Now,
Chris and I
now that
played with it
you,
for opening a site. So we asked it, Chris and I were doing this together a few weeks ago. We asked ChatGPT, hey, I want to start a new site. What do I do? And it said, hey, first of all, congratulations on starting a new research site. And then it gave a list. And the list was like 75%
yeah.
advice we would give too. But there was 25 where it's like, yeah, you don't need that. You need this instead. But
Yeah.
it's getting
Yeah.
close.
Yeah,
I
there's other
agree with you,
problems.
Dan. I mean, obviously.
There's other
Exactly.
problems too. It seems to already be been infected with wokeness. This is my findings. So yeah, it has things to overcome yet.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm
for
biased.
sure.
Monica, what were you saying?
it's I did the same. I asked for a specific process. It gave me just the surface, right? So it's not like it's not like a all detail, but it's still good material, right? Like for example, for the websites, we can add that the AI to the websites to answer basic questions, like the FQAs, and it can answer it in any language.
That's amazing.
So
This is
so
perfect
that's
for
something
people that
that
want
when
to do
I saw
research.
it, I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
we definitely need to add this to our website because it's great. It answers in different. It's actually even helpful to learn another language because it can practice with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, the video that I watched, I think it was over the weekend. I'll send it to you, to all of you already. So check it out. It has many different things that you can do to use this new tool, but I think it's exciting. Obviously, it's gonna change everything.
Yeah.
uh, but it's gonna make us also it's gonna push us to be better too, you know. So I
100.
think it's a great tool.
100%. And the way I think some people can use it, like members that are either already in the industry or that are trying to come into the industry or just learn more about what's out there. What we do know is that the AI continues to build on its knowledge. So it's going to, whatever you question one week, the next week you'll probably have better answers or better formulated answers. So if you were to use this as some sort of a reference or a source for assistance, definitely asking on therapeutic areas to learn a little bit more. If you're interested on getting a little focus on, how to maneuver your career into research through AI or through this, that. I mean, I'm sure all these things would be extremely helpful for you to utilize. So just something to keep in your toolbox that's obviously up and coming. Well, not up and coming, but it's already here. I'm sure it's going to get way, 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 way better. So just to keep that.
And I'm sure it's gonna get way better in no time because it's getting information every day, every day, every day. So I think within 10 years it's gonna be just
Oof, I
amazing.
think in like 2 or 3, it's going to surpass Google. I really honestly think so. I mean, who knows? It's probably even better at this point. Who knows?
It already has a market cap like $40 billion. They recently were thinking about getting acquired, or maybe they did get acquired. But yeah, I think the verticals is what's interesting because I think you can focus your AI on like drug development, for example, like drug discovery. I think where it's lacking is where humans communicate regularly to get things done, like CRAs and CRCs with patients. Like I don't see Chat GPT replacing a coordinator anytime soon, but I do see it replacing potentially the scientist in the lab that's discovering the next molecule. Because that guy is just dealing with information. He's not really dealing with people. He's in a silo. And the CRC, is dealing with the patient, with the family, with the monitor, PI, trying to get all these things done. So I actually think I think this changes like it might be like the higher paying jobs that are actually in more danger than some of the lower paying jobs, if you think about it.
Mhm. I think that when it comes to, like I say, sponsor and maybe even CRO level, I think because they're so huge, even if that were to be the case, because their processes take so long to go down the command of chain, you have 3 or 5 years before they execute implementation decently, right? So yeah, I do think it'll take a while. So those of you that are already in, start looking at how you want to be maneuvering your skill set, right? And for those of you
Start
that are
using it
coming in,
now.
yeah, 100%. Well, since we are halfway through, that was actually pretty quick. I did want to, make a few mentions of things that are happening. So things that are coming down the pipeline with LICR. So we have, yes, Christine, she's data-driven jobs as well, for sure, definitely. So first off, we will be presenting virtually at the LATAM conference. Monica, I don't know if you wanted to mention a little bit more on that conference, just so if anybody hasn't heard of it yet, they can look it up.
Judy knows more about it.
Yeah, so I actually just got an email for it today. Let me see. So it's a clinical research in Latin America summit on February 9th and 10th. It's a virtual conference. Different panel of experts that they're going to share, I guess, their cutting edge strategies for community-based research. So there's going to be speaker presentations or panel discussions, various time frames throughout the day. And then yeah, I think that's it. We're going to be on a panel discussion on February 9th.
9. Mhm.
Yeah.
And it is in English, you guys, so
Yes.
just so you're aware, I do believe, I think they said something about translating, but don't hold me to that. I just know that it is going to be in English, so if that is something you are interested in, definitely look it up. LATAM conference, again, virtual in February. And so even if you just want to go show some support, we'd be happy to see familiar faces and or familiar names. That'd be nice.
Are
And
you
I
gonna
just
add the
posted-
AI to
Okay, yeah,
translate?
Judy just posted it.
Yeah, I just posted
Awesome.
the link to it.
Awesome. Another thing to mention is if you guys are not already aware, the SCRS Diversity Conference will be in Austin, Texas, March 27th. Monica, Judy?
Oh,
Yeah, I think so. Mhm.
let me see. It's a Thursday, Friday. So
Thursday,
yes, let
Friday.
me double check on the dates. Yes, March. Oh no, sorry, March 30th and Friday, March 31st.
Okay, so yeah, so those are the days for the diversity conference. We will be present there. So if you so happen to be in Texas or will be actually be going to that conference, please stop by and say hi. We'll be obviously in the exhibit room. We will be announcing the booth once we have finalized all that information. I will be there, and 2 other individuals from LICR will be there, maybe even a few more. That's still kind of pending at the moment, but please stop by. We have goodies and goodie bags, and we want to definitely make sure that we get to meet you guys. It would be really, really, really nice to do so. And I believe even Christine, you may actually be present. I don't want to speak for you, but I think you were gonna, since you're in San Antonio, finally get to meet you in person. That'd be nice. So there's going to be that, you guys, so definitely keep that in mind. We will be posting and giving updates on everything that's going on, so please like and share so that we can get some traction on our social medias, even on the LinkedIn page. We want to make sure that everybody's seeing everything that's going on and how we're involved and all of that. And then also we will be doing an announcement. We will be having a video posting sometime very soon about the ambassadorship with LICR. It's been over a year. We've been on a hold with that just because of growth and all of those kinds of things. So far, we've only had Christine, who is our chief networking officer, and Cassandra, who was our kind of public relations ambassador. So we're definitely going to be opening that up. Processes and how that's going to be moved forward, we will let you know. So just kind of keep in mind, be checking your emails, keeping up with LinkedIn and our posts and all those things. If you aren't already subscribed to us, please go to the website, go to subscribe so you can get those emails. They're not often, so we're not spamming you or anything. But just so that you know how you can be involved, there's going to be different things that we are looking for individuals to help speak with recruiters so that we can collaborate with these companies to kind of help get our members access to opening positions and things like that. Other aspects would be attending conferences, being present, being a representative. There's so many things, right? So naturally, we're gonna have a process for you to apply to that because we want to make sure that whoever we bring on, it is a diverse group, diverse in age, gender, background, all those kinds of things, different levels. You do not have to be officially in a research job. You can be looking for a research job and still be a part of us. We're not discriminatory of any of that. We want to make sure that we have a full diverse background and input, right, from our ambassadors. So just that is something you've been interested in, whether you're here today or you'll be listening later, because I know that we've had a lot of requests lately. Please be on the lookout for that. We will be announcing that shortly. I'll be doing a short video on LinkedIn about what we look for with ambassadors and stuff like that. Just in case if you did have any questions, just pop them in the chat and we'll be happy to cover that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Moni, did you want to mention anything else?
No, for the questions, any
Okay.
questions that people have about any topic in particular, it doesn't have to be anything that we already discussed.
For sure. Thanks, Moni. So we also have next month's webinar in February. We will be announcing the guest speakers very shortly. So just be on the lookout for that. The dates that we have in attentive right now, a moment, let me pull that up so we can just let you guys know in advance. Oops, calendar is acting up a little bit. I'll just pull it up on my phone because. All right, so it will be the 21st of February. If that does change, we'll let you know, but for the most part, we will be announcing probably in the next week who the guest speakers will be, and obviously the same time, just so you guys don't miss out on that. We definitely want to continue to see you guys here and be involved with us. And lastly, in March, we will be doing a very big reveal. We did decide through requests that we've been seeing come through that Q&As are something that are being wanted more often. So we will be making more frequencies of this as well, just to kind of give people the opportunity to ask questions, whether it's through email or in person. But in March, we will be having a big reveal, something very, very huge that benefits pretty much everybody. And so we're really excited about it, and we hope you will be too when you hear it. So just keep a lookout for that announcement. Well, that meeting invite so that you can be present for that and ask any questions that you might have. There's just so much down the pipeline, you guys. We're really, really excited. Something that we're also working on is collaboration versus competition. We're going to be highlighting a lot of other Latino organizations throughout the year. Something that we're excited to kind of share with you guys because we did notice last year, we didn't realize how many Latino organizations were out there until Hispanic Heritage Month. And so something we want to do is really kind of bring that to the forefront and give everybody the opportunity to also learn more about those organizations and get involved if they want to get involved. And sorry, lastly is the ERGs or BRGs, short for known for like business resource groups in big CROs. There's a lot of Latino BRGs and CRGs in these companies in research. And for those of you that are, because we do talk a lot about site and site ownership, but this is on a full end spectrum for individuals coming into the industry that are also in the industry as well, that are just trying to move up in their career. So learning more about these organizations that are out there and how they're beneficial and useful to you, so that if you are coming from a site level and you're wanting to level up in your career, you're able to do so and do so in a company that has a space and environment for you that makes you feel welcome and you just open space, right? So we want to get you guys, let you guys have an opportunity to speak with them via live webinars, and also just have some events here and there where you can get to know them a little bit more in depth, and obviously connect with them if you have any questions. But that's pretty much everything so far. I'm sure there's going to be more down the line, but just to kind of give you a sneak peek. And so please make sure that you are keeping up with these emails. And if you know anybody that this would benefit, please have them subscribe to our email list on the website. We definitely want to make sure that we can get to as many people as we possibly can, because all this stuff is very helpful for individuals that are trying to maneuver the industry, and we're here to support that. Thank you so much. Moni, I don't know if you wanted to announce anything on the university.
Yeah, well, many of the classes are opening too, getting started. So we have the CRA and the CRC academies starting on February. We have the CTA and the data management is starting in March, and also the Venetian Academies classes is starting in March. And the medical writing will be announced because that's still under construction. So yeah, that's the classes is starting. So it's February and March is the time where the registrations are open. If you feel or if you need more information about it, please feel free to reach out to us.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much. We're super excited for this year, you guys. There's so much happening. And we would love to hear from you. If there's anything, whether you want to put it here in the chat today, if you want to come off the mic, or if you just want to email us and ask any questions, like about anything that we're doing or any recommendations that you have that you would like to see more of, just let us know. We want to make sure that we're providing not just great content, but we're also guiding it in the direction that is more useful for you, because we're here to create a space that gives you as much resources as you possibly need to be successful in this industry. So anything we can do to make that a great experience for you would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Exactly. So any questions out there, or should we pick just a topic? Dan, Julie, Christine, Ashley, anybody suggest
Well,
any topic
I
that we
think since not many people are talking right now, I think a good thing to talk about right now is the opportunities that are here for the beginning of the year for everybody when it comes to the industry, right? So it's a Q1, and we all know the big push on diversity has been out there, and it's really moving very strong. Oh, we have somebody raising their hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Chukwuwama.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Good afternoon from California. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay. Let me lower my hands first. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Yes. My question is about I think I overheard something like a data management program coming in March.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I don't know if you guys are aware, there's been kind of a trend from late last year up to this moment. It's kind of been very difficult to get clinical research jobs. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I have a couple of colleagues and friends that have tried and do so well in interviews, and they say, oh, everybody keeps coming back, no, 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 no. Is this a normal occurrence, or there's something about the recession or something? Because I'm getting bothered. They're not hiring like that, like they used to in the past. So
I think it depends on multiple things. One is your region, right? If you're looking for something that is in-house, and your region is not, very heavy on so many sites and things like that. Now, if you're doing CRO and sponsor level, and sometimes that comes down more to, not that you're not you or whoever it is not a competitive candidate. It just means that sometimes that that position has a bottleneck effect, and there's just a lot of very high qualifying candidates, right? And so it's not necessarily so much that they're not hiring. It's just more the fact that depending on where it is, what job and what level you're applying to, and how many of those positions are actually open, is really going to determine a lot of those factors. So but if you're wanting to do something at site level, it definitely comes down to region. If they give you an opportunity to showcase what pay you're looking for, which I've noticed a lot of jobs are asking for that now. Can you please give us your salary range that you're looking for? Sometimes that immediately will knock somebody off, because somebody's willing to get paid less than somebody else. And it's more about budget for them rather than, just the qualifications, right? So there's so many things to it. Unfortunately, that's the only thing about research where Dan says it all the time, you have to be extremely persistent and just almost, rock solid in emotion, because it's not, again, not about you and your qualifications. It's just about the scenario and situation and who else you're going up against, right? So
I think the other factor is that COVID draw a lot of attention about research, and many people are also applying, but also many of these people don't have no knowledge or no experience whatsoever, right? So that put them in a different part of the situation. The balance is a little bit more on the negative when you have no knowledge or no experience. Well, if you have more knowledge, you have knowledge about whatever part of research that you're applying to, that also put you in the positive in your balance, because now you have that information, and when you go to the interview, you're gonna know what you're talking about, rather than somebody that has no experience and wants to transfer the skills to research, which it could happen in the future, but it will take you more time, rather than somebody that already have knowledge and at least a little bit of experience on that specific area. So let's say in data management, if you have research background or if you have experience, it's going to be much easier than somebody that come from, let's say, from Google that have no experience whatsoever in research, or let's say somebody that took a class that now have a certification and now have a proof of information that they already know. That also is important, because now the companies are going to know that you have interest and you know exactly what you're getting into, and not somebody that has no idea, and then maybe hire and start training, and then halfway of the training they say, you know what, thank you very much, but I think this is not for me. Now that company is going to waste money out on the training. So that's why they also prefer somebody that has that knowledge, because they now know that they know exactly what they are getting into, or at least have some sort of knowledge.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
that if you look at the layoffs that have been happening, so first you look at outside of our industry, you look at Facebook, Google,
Apple.
Microsoft, Twitter, Apple. I mean, all of them laid off tens of thousands, all right, each. So you've got those people, a fraction of them are going to look at research. I mean, maybe even more than a small fraction, because biotech is kind of interrelated to tech. It is tech. It's even in the name. The issue with data management, it's a niche within research. So within research, we're not seeing layoffs at CROs, sponsors, or sites. We're seeing layoffs at the tech vendors. So, but not the big ones. Like, we're actually not seeing layoffs at Metadata, Viva, but we are seeing layoffs at tech companies that were interesting concepts maybe 2 years ago, that investors decided, hey, you know what? This is not making money. I'm no longer gonna invest in this. And those companies ran out of money, so they had to lay people off. But these are the decentralized clinical trial companies, basically. So Life Science 37. There was another one I saw on LinkedIn yesterday. Care Access, I think, was one where it was like the entire model was DCT. And that stuff doesn't work. It's still proof of concept. Like, it's not actually proven. So all these people, the point is, all these people who you used to not have to compete with to get a data management job, you're now competing against them. Unless they're going to want to go be a coordinator, but I think a more natural transferable skill for them is something like data management. So that's going to be a crowded vertical. And by the way, it's always been tough to interview and do well when you're research naive. That's why we have the academies in the first place. So yeah, it'll just be more so now for things like data manager. For things like CRC, CRA, it's going to be the same, because there's still a huge shortage. But for things like data management, you're going to have a lot more competition now from other sectors coming in and competing for your job.
So you need to prepare, you need to be more ready to go, like put more on the balance, on the positive balance of your education and training and experience and all of that to put you ahead.
Or consider, why do I keep applying for data manager when it's a uphill battle, when I could apply to be a CRC and work my way into data management within a year. So, there's alternative pathways that we're not considering.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you're correct. I agree with you, Dan. But apparently, this is not for me. It's actually for someone else who, like kind of I mentor. And she is has some experience, just stopped for a while and didn't work anymore. But apparently, I think maybe the competition, I don't know, she keeps having interviews, speaks and talks and maybe 2 times, 3 times, and the next thing, oh, like, we like you so much, but at this time, I'm sorry. This dance, it's like a it's like continues like that. This person is losing hope. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to know if it's that the normal thing or if there was something going on now
it's
that has,
both, probably both. It's probably
Yeah.
both. So it's normal and there's probably something going on as well. Like she might want to try like one ladder,
Different.
one rung
Yeah.
on the ladder lower
Mhm. Well, I
type
think
of job.
I think it's also something that like with my clients that I like to mention is this is that if you're getting to the interviews and you're constantly ending at the second interview marker, it's at that point it's not that you're not a good candidate. You're clearly a great candidate and they're already considering you at the top. At that point, it comes down to the hiring manager. What the hiring manager is specifically looking for is he or she accurately just vocalizing the types of things that they're wanting to hear. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people do make when it comes to interviewing is that, especially when you have that 2 or 3 prong interview, is that usually what they tend to do is ask the same questions and maybe mix up 1 or 2, but always giving the same responses and not considering who is interviewing them and their role and what they're actively trying to look for, as opposed to just answering the question and giving the same kind of response and the same viewpoint. That's where I think getting
Let me
somebody
ask you
to
guys a tough question, okay? Hypothetical. What does AI replace first? A data manager job or a CRC?
data manager.
Data manager, of course.
Yeah,
That's also something we need to
but
keep
no,
in
where
mind
it is,
too.
data coordinator is where it's at. Data
Data
coordinator.
coordinator, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't
And-
even
don't
know what
just-
that is, but it sounds like something you should
You
apply
you
for.
you do data management, but you coordinate people who are handling that. So
Like
you're
an
overseeing the
orchestra.
AI. Yeah, pretty
Ah.
much. Yeah, pretty much.
And let me add to this. So there's also a change in less remote virtual jobs and more in-person jobs that are available, correct? Like I would say at the site level that I've seen more people that are hiring, but they want you to work in the office, not work at home.
Why
So
is
that's
that?
a
Why do you
change.
think, like Judy, for you, you're a site owner. I am
Be-
too. Like I do prefer people in the office also.
Because there's a lot of things you can't do remotely. It's not efficient. Like you can't see patients remotely. You can talk to them, you can confirm, their appointment, but there's so many things you can't do remotely. You have to see them in person. That dialogue, that conversation. You find out, was there an AE, their study or compliance, diary, whatever, all of that. And depending what therapeutic area you're working on too, right? Psych, CNS, it's completely different than a lot of other therapeutic areas. But when it comes to maybe a pre-screener recruiter, maybe that could be remote, right? You're just calling people, you're entering stuff online, updating the site. So it just varies on the role. But I have seen a lot of postings just all over the place for research sites, small, medium, large, and they just want more in person than remote.
That's so funny that you say that, because I've had I would say the past 3 months, a huge swarm of new individuals that are coming outside from the industry that are wanting to come into the industry because of the flexibility of the remote jobs. And I'm just kind of like, well, they're out there, but now they've
Not as
adjusted. Now they're
much.
giving that to senior, now they're giving that more to senior level as opposed to newer incoming individuals, right? Because they want more oversight on those that have no experience. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the industry is shifting a little bit on that end, and for good reason too. I mean, I think everybody in all industries adapted during COVID. We'll see, but it could also be also have your friend keep in mind that if she was applying during October through December, a lot of companies have a halting period in their HR when they're starting and or stopping certain. I know that the senior levels, they were continuing, but for like more entry stuff, I mean, they kind of tend to put a halt on that in preparation for the holiday season. So,
Another suggestion for her is to apply to lower levels so she can build her CV stronger before she actually goes to those other positions.
yeah, I mean, there's definitely many ways.
Another thing I noticed that she told me was I think the companies I mean, according to her, are beginning to make during these interviews, begin to ask her to provide certain, information that I would say I consider, when she told me, I consider not so right. For example, asking her to get documentation from HR, wherever she worked for, or to show them and stuff like that. So I mean, I have never heard of a thing like that.
It depends what state
so-
you're in. In Texas,
Yeah.
they can ask you for your past 2 paycheck stubs. I've been asked that before in the past. It depending
Yeah,
on what
so-
state, they have some laws that they can.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Because
She
I
needs to
think
apply
that's
in California where the businesses have no rights.
Yeah.
So that's where she needs to be.
I think that's also because a lot of people was trying to get into the industry with no experience, but they
Right.
were lying in their
I think
CVs.
so
So now
too.
Yes.
they
I think
need
so
to-
too.
Right.
They
Yes,
need to
I think
prove
so too.
now.
Right.
So that's why I suggest you to tell her to go on different other position to build her CV. Otherwise, it's gonna be more difficult because, like I was saying before, if you have no knowledge, you must have experience. But if you have both the knowledge and experience, then you're on totally different level. That's why
Yeah.
when we started the academies, we were providing the knowledge, but then we quickly noticed that the students needed also internships to get more prepared and to have to become a stronger candidates.
Well, there's
And,
about
and
100,000 high knowledge workers that have just been laid off from big tech. So some of them are going to be looking data manager because it has the word in it that they like. They don't know what it is, but they like it. So it makes your job as a candidate even more, like what Monica's saying, even more important of getting that experience to put yourself further ahead than somebody that just got laid off at Meta. By the way, Meta was working on clinical research. They didn't really say anything about it, but they have a clinical research. They had a research department. I think those 12 people got laid off as well. They're part
Oh
of the
man.
12,000. So guess where they're gonna
wow.
go? Guess
That's
where those
terrible.
people are going to look for jobs?
Mhm.
Data management
Research.
doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually,
research.
it's funny that you mentioned that because one of my friends, she works for Apple, and she actually told me that they're already announcing all the layoffs like as every day is passing. And she even asked me, she's like, "Hey, what can I do in research with my background?" And I was just kind of like, "Okay, well, let's see," And so her and some of her friends are already in like preparation for potential like situations like that. Which in my head, I was just like, well, I wonder where that's gonna flow to, right? Which should make sense what you're saying, Dan. So a lot of change, a lot of things coming down the pipeline. I still don't think even if we get that huge wind of new individuals coming from a different industry, we're growing so much so fast. I don't see that being an issue. I do see maybe the expectations of remote and the expectations of extremely high offer letters and things like that. Maybe not as much compared
Well,
to how it
half
was
of
in
those
COVID.
people don't even know what they're getting into. Did you see that that one TikTok of that girl that worked at Meta, her work day? I mean,
Mm-mm.
she's like working maybe 2 hours out of the day. She's talking about eating lunch on the roof and then drinking the company kombucha. And like these people are not going to survive in research where you
I was
have to
about to
do
say,
your,
like, it sounds
That's
nice.
another thing.
Really?
That's another thing.
Wow.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
there.
it's
So
true.
they're in for a rude awakening also. Like, they may apply, but then they may not last. So we're still left with the people who are passionate about this industry, life sciences, and we're lucky to be in this industry.
Very lucky.
I hope.
It's very
Very
lucky.
lucky. I mean,
100%.
things have really changed. Things have really changed. And I'm kind of a little bit excited about it, though. It's a very serious business, right now, and people should take it more seriously.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're in there,
that's-
you got to do your best to remain there.
Mhm.
And
Just
one
keep
of those
keep
things
And just
learning.
throwing it out to
that
everybody,
exactly.
Mhm.
That's that one
Mhm.
of the things that keep you there is to keep up to date with all the information, the technology, learning more and more, making yourself more knowledgeable, becoming like Dan always says, generalist, multi-specialist, learn more about other therapeutic areas, learn more about other positions. I mean, that you're able to cross anywhere,
Oh,
everywhere. So that they ask you and you already know you're ready. Yes, I'm ready for that
you're
transition.
be adaptable and agile in where you can put your knowledge and foot in, pretty much. That's the key. Even if you don't like it, learn it. I always say, like, learn everything, but if you have a strength, double down on the strength always, because you can amplify that times 10, times 20, and that can grow in so many other areas in different ways. So if you're in research and you so happen to like a lot more biotech, then start learning so much information in that, because even if you don't have that exposure through job, when you finally get the opportunity to do that interview, you're going to be spewing out information that the average person that only does it through their job won't know, right? If you're in the news about it, if you're hearing this or you're doing that, or you're hearing about the new systems and you're researching that stuff, like that, all that's going to come out in the interview and the other person's going to see it, right? So double down on what you know, and then every now and then try to really just get out there and learn something different that you're not as good at.
Yeah,
My
I'm
next
excited.
question
Yes.
is kind of to Dan. I'm just wondering, as good the book has been wonderful to a lot of people. I'm beginning to wonder, and I've always had in my head, is there any plans of a book for people already in the research industry, already to make
There
them
is.
do better? Yeah,
I'm writing it.
something like
I'm
that.
writing it with Chat GPT as we speak.
Oh, great, because we need some boost as well.
Yeah.
Not
I
just
think
the
February.
beginners. Yeah.
My goal is February of next year to have it ready.
Oh,
I don't have a
great,
title or anything, but I know what it's about. It's
Okay, I'll give you a title when the time comes.
all right, let's do it. We'll put you versus Chat GPT, see what's a better title.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Thank you guys. And when is this match? The thing about match, so I can tell some one or two friends about the data management program.
It's
I
gonna
know you
be
just
starting
say
in
March.
March.
no
Yes.
date
Yeah.
yet.
Yes.
Yeah, yes,
No
it's actually
specific date.
March. March. It will start in March. Let me give you
I
the
think it's March
exact
6th,
date.
20.
Yeah, it's actually March. Yeah, sorry. I was looking February. March 4th, which is a Saturday. That's the first class. It's gonna
I
be on
believe we'll get.
Saturdays.
Okay, I believe we'll get
And
notifications before that time, right?
and
On
you're gonna
email or
and
Yeah.
something.
and just so you guys are aware, it's not just teaching about data management. You guys are actually getting that exposure with an actual, system and all of those kinds of things. One of, that
And
you
2
would get
data managers
exposure.
teaching it. Like they're working right now as data managers for the last 7-8 years. So
Yeah.
they're the ones teaching
Amazing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an
Very,
opportunity that
very,
should be grabbed.
very
Yeah.
brilliant people, very brilliant people. And so highly recommend this for anybody that's interested. I mean, I'm excited to learn it, because I think data should be for everybody, because that's where we're going, right? That's research and we can't avoid it. So don't fight the current, flow with it, right? So but
Yeah,
awesome, you
that's
guys.
right.
That's
Knowledge
amazing.
is power, and now it's becoming powerful.
Yes.
With all this, with all the things that are happening around the world. So yeah, very important to keep learning and learning and learning.
100%. Well, thank you guys. We're here at the top of the hour. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, this was just a Q&A today, just to bring in the new year. We will be announcing for February. Remember, we have all these things coming down the pipeline. So if you do not have your email subscribed, please do so via our website. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to speaking with you guys again next month. Thank you
Thank you,
so much, you
guys.
guys. Y'all
Bye,
have a good
everyone.
night.
Eileen, you'll
Thanks
be
a lot,
helping me with
guys.
the book. Eileen Schneider, the
Bye.
writer, you'll be helping with the book.